tweeting.
Oh, yeah. UFC San Diego pre-fight Q&A, baby. It starts now.
I mean, if you're not excited after that introduction, I don't know what else we need to do for you. Because, like that magical voice just said, UFC San Diego going down. Kicks off at the top of the hour. It'll end with a big one at 135 pounds between Marlon Chito Vera and Dominick Cruz. Very fascinating fight. And we are here with all of you to get you ready for this card, taking your questions up until the first punches are thrown. I am Mike Heck. We have the Prince of Positivity here, Mr. Alexander K. Lee. And on the ones and twos, the best in MMA media, Casey Leydon. There he is.
Hey,
all right,
Casey, you look like a San Diego scale commissioner. I tell you, you have the grooming of a San Diego. My goodness.
Dreams. That's a big height,
Yes.
Big goals for myself.
All right.
Hey, gentlemen.
Well, let's do this thing. This is your show. It's the People's Pre-Fight Show, which means we'll answer your UFC San Diego questions. Something tells me we're going to be answering questions outside of UFC San Diego as well, if the preview show questions were any indication.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got. Do we have anything?
Oh, that's an old question. That's from last week. Here we go. First question that came on the board.
Why is the UFC so bad at promoting? Why isn't this Aldo versus Cruz? Don't even get me going on why the heck they just booked Blanchfield versus Molly McCann. So, what do you think about this, AK? Lots to unpack with this question.
I do agree the UFC is bad at promoting. I don't think either of these are that egregious. We have wanted to see Aldo versus Cruz for a long time, but I feel like it is something that they can revisit down the road. If they never book that fight, then we're going to have a problem. Then it's like, what the hell went wrong? Because that is just there. I think both guys would want it. I don't, but I can understand the way how they've, Aldo sees himself back on the championship track. I don't think that path necessarily goes through Cruz right now. So, he now has a huge fight coming up with Merab, which sucks, I think. I assume a lot of fans of Aldo think they don't like his chances of winning that fight. So that's why they'd rather see him fight Cruz and maybe go that way. But for the purposes of, if we're talking about like, can he earn a title shot win over Merab? Yes, he can. And what a story that would be. But a Cruz fight would be much cooler. I understand. I'm glad Chito Vera got the chance, so I can't complain about this. I think it's a great fight for Marlon Vera too. He's been wanting to fight one of these big names in his division for a long time, so I can't complain that much about that one. Blanchfield McCann, I don't love. Definitely would not have been my plan, but I also don't think it's like insane either. It's like I wish they would just do the protect Molly and Patty thing forever too. Like I think that's a great idea. Only book them in England, but it's fine if they want to bring them to the United States and have them fight on big cards in Vegas or Madison Square Garden. Then you got to give them good opponents, I guess. Erin Blanchfield, of course, everyone predicting to be a future title contender. I think she'll be a favorite against Molly when it happens. Why book this now? I'm not sure, but it's not the worst thing ever. I think Molly has a name, and I think they understand that maybe they think Molly's ceiling is only so high. So if you use her to build Blanchfield, they're not against that. Molly remains a star when they go back to if they fight in London again anyway. That's just a thing. Again, neither of these are ideal, or I think like great bookings, but not like a huge example of the UFC being like terrible.
Yeah. I mean, just the disrespect for Jose Aldo is just unbelievable. It should be the question should be, why isn't this Aldo versus Sterling? But
yeah,
who am I? You know what I mean? That's the question.
If Aldo wasn't getting a title shot, I don't know. Like, does he need to fight Merab? I mean, I feel like it's just unnecessary. But I mean, it's a tough fight for both of them. But it just seems unnecessary for Aldo to fight Merab. I don't know. I would have liked Aldo Cruz for this one, but like I think I agree with AK. It's like not the biggest. I mean, it's still there. It's still a back pocket fight before both these gentlemen's careers are done. The McCann Blanchfield one is really interesting, though. I don't think any of us were any of us really was that even suggested on To the Next?
I think some people threw it out there, and Mike and I probably
Yeah.
gave it like a.
Yeah,
I
no
guess.
way.
We
No,
we
they're
kinda
never
gave it
gonna
like
do that.
I guess too soon. Yeah, why would they do that? Yeah, I think we definitely go. Yeah, I
But
don't
too soon
recall
for
having
who?
Alex-
We said too soon for who though? Molly's the veteran. What do you mean too soon?
Too soon for Molly, but Molly's fine. Like this is like her breakout year. You know what I mean? Like she's had some popularity before, but she's like really broke and rightfully. I'm not saying she can't win that fight. She has a lot more experience than Aaron Blanchfield, but she will be the underdog, and for a good reason.
I just think it's a really interesting fight because more of the kind of the world of prize fighting. I think all the fans that follow the sport are go, oh, Blanchfield's going to take this. I feel like all the media are like, oh, Blanchfield's going to take this.
Yeah,
Blanchfield is higher ranked, but at the same time, Blanchfield is going back in the fighting someone behind her in the rankings, but yet this is a good fight for Blanchfield.
ahead of her in popularity.
Well, yeah. Of course, Molly by popularity is like, well, I guess maybe behind Valentina. I don't know as far as popularity wise, but rankings, is she even? She's not in our top 15, Molly, right?
No, I think she's a Favre. I think she got a vote.
Yeah, maybe like yeah. So for Blanchfield, this fight doesn't make sense ranking wise, but as far as prize fighting, popularity, move the needle wise, this is an awesome fight for Aaron Blanchfield, which is it's kind of a rare thing. You don't really get that often where you fight someone behind you in the rankings, but it makes way more sense in terms of your career. So yeah, I'm honestly shocked the UFC made this fight, the McCann Blanchfield fight, the Cruz auto thing. You know, whatever UFC's it's 35. You know, there's so many great fights, but Blanchfield McCann really caught me off guard. But good for Blanchfield fighting at MSG.
Yeah,
Wow.
I actually think it's perfect matchmaking because you can't lose either way. Like if
From the
McCann
standpoint,
wins,
yeah, from the promoter standpoint, definitely.
yeah, McCann wins. That's a massive win, and you can do whatever you want with McCann. You could give her like one more big fight, and then she could fight for the title right after that. Like you can arguably do that. And if Blanchfield loses that fight, like it's not the end of the world.
No,
She's
not at
still relatively young. It'll go down as a quote unquote learning experience for her. And if Blanchfield beats McCann, like it's not the end of the world for McCann either. It's just okay. Let's go back to London and
Just
give her a
fun fights.
Hannah Goldie type opponent and let her shine and have a big win, and the fans will go crazy. So I mean, I'm fine with it. I think it's fine matchmaking. And if you're gonna put McCann in there with one of these like second gen rising prospects in this division, Blanchfield's probably the best one to put her in there with.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool. It's going to be MSG. It's going to be a big card. And like, even though it's probably going to be in the prelims, every fight in that card is going to feel big. So, big moment for Aaron Blanchfield. Big moment for
Blanchfield's close to home. Yeah. Blanchfield's close to home. So it's a very big deal.
Cool.
What do you guys think about Landwehr Onama matchup getting the co-main event slot? AK, you want to take this one?
quote unquote co-main.
This is all AK.
Let me say, I saw some to address. We shouldn't address the trolls on the YouTube. Some troll in the YouTube yesterday was like, how disrespectful to like not say it's the co-main. I'm like, guys, honestly, it's co-main titles, all this stuff, and this is all promotion talk. This stuff is all promotion. I hate to be that guy. I hate to dispel the beautiful mythology that we build around sports, combat sports. These things are props. These things are promotional props. So you can call it a co-main if you want. You can call it the penultimate. I'm amazed UFC did not make it a standard of calling their second last fights penultimate fights. It sounds cooler, and it would have gone with their branding. Like they totally missed out on that years ago. They should have abandoned the co-main event thing at some point.
Penultimate sounds cool.
The penultimate matchup: Nate Landwehr, David Onama. I mean. It doesn't sound as good when I say it. Imagine Ron Perlman saying penultimate, and then you're like, oh, okay. So I have no problem with it being the second last fight. Listen, of the choices on this card, you could have had Angela Hill and Loopy, which would have been a bit funny because it wasn't the original matchup. So I guess they didn't want to change. It was supposed to be Estela Nunes and Loopy, so I guess they didn't want to move it too much on the card. And then you could have maybe gone Cynthia Calvillo, Nina Nunes, because we still have Nina Nunes ranked. Other than that, you really don't have a lot of options for a compelling, like, oh, this has to be the co-main. It's such a one-fight card as far as star power goes. So I'm really glad they gave Landwehr and Onama that spot. I'm predicting a fast finish for Onama, which would be great for TV. They love it, and for the UFC, create a viral clip. But I'm also outside chance, 3-round war with Marlon Onama. So I think a great choice for the second last fight. You could have gone in some other directions, but there's really no surefire. Oh, this should have been the de facto co-main. It's like, not really.
It's a fight night. Fight nights don't rarely have true co-mains. So yeah.
Well, I mean, they had one. The one that was originally in the slot was. So
was original? Sorry, I forget.
Supposed to be Grasso Araujo.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to be the co-main.
That fight actually had a lot of significance too to the division too. Yeah,
100%.
Grasso had a big win, couldn't easily got a title shot. I figured the UFC is going to go back to Mexico eventually, so they're kind of lined up for a really big Mexican pay-per-view card. It seems like. All right, let's talk about this.
Oh. Why don't you talk about it, Casey? I know how
Go ahead, Casey. Take it away.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. First of all, Yamaguchi has been one of the most underrated Bellator fighters for a while, and this is a lot of his fault too. Mostly, it's not the comparison is not exact, but I saw some people call him the Charles Oliveira of Bellator, which is in a lot of ways is true because he's had so much potential, but the guy started, I think, 45 in Bellator. He's a 55 for most of his career. I think this was his first fight at welterweight. And, like, he just fought the wrong weight class. So he would have great performances, and some performances he just kind of looked out of it. He'll miss weight and everything. You're like, geez. Finally, he's just kind of grown into his frame. He's at 170. He looked swole at 170. And they gave him a very tough fight in the main event. And, Missy Yoto, he's so very proper, very he loves the Gracie tradition, and then all of a sudden he just turns into Nick Diaz in the fight or Nate, and he's just all like showboating, like come on, hit me, and like 99 of 100 times, anytime a fighter does that, we're like, oh, that guy deserves to get knocked out. They always get knocked out, and for the first time it worked. He's like hit me, boom, uppercut. Just a beautiful shot. Knocked out Neiman Gracie. And Neiman Gracie is a very quality welterweight. Dropped him, knocked him out. Just unreal. I remember just watching it. I was just like, I can't believe that worked. And it was just perfect technique, perfect showmanship, and just so out of character. And just, it almost tricked Neiman Gracie thinking like, what's this guy doing? And then, he just kept jabbing him and boom, uppercut. It was fantastic, and we've all seen 1,000 billion knockouts, and I haven't quite seen a knockout like that. It was just freaking awesome. I just loved it.
There you go. That was a good knockout.
Thoughts.
Good way to close the show.
Oh, yeah. And it's a good way to close the show because it kind of made you forget about the really bummer co-main event in Bellator, which looked like it was going to be an awesome fight, actually. Steve Mowry looks pretty awesome, and just bummer, eye poke in the first 30 seconds. Dude, you see the interview that Bellator did with Mowry right before he was going to walk out? Did y'all see that? Did y'all watch? Okay, so usually UFC never does they don't do interviews with fighters on the fight night. When they always show, it's like they show after the weigh-ins. They'll go shot the day before. But Bellator, they'll shoot interviews, but usually it's like an hour before they fight. I've been backstage when they do this, like hour before like. But for Mowry, they literally shot the interview right before he's about to walk out into the tunnel to get ready. So like Mowry's just like, he's not even looking at the lady asking the question. He's just like focused. He's like, the lady's like, so this is a big fight for you? He's like, yeah, big fight. What's gonna happen tonight? Gonna go out there and win. Well, if you win, do you want to fight Ryan Bader? He's like, it's going on. Just gotta get that win. It was just like the most awkward, awesome, like. I can't believe they did it, but it was so weird. And I felt so bad because you saw how intense Mowry was. And then when the eye poke happens, the dude looks like he was about to cry. It just sucked. So, just a lot of drama last night in Bellator.
By the way, this is the second knockout win for Yamauchi in his past 3 outings, and the other one I think also was set up by an uppercut. So if this is the next phase of Yamauchi's career. He's only 29. That's the thing, right?
That's the thing. Like way. He's like a Charles Oliveira. He came into Bellator when he was like 20 or something. Like
he's fought like 100 times.
I know. I feel like I've seen this guy fight like 20 times.
No way. I just looked this up right now. What?
Yeah, like
and then Neiman Gracie's last one was a ferocious knockout too.
Yeah,
Mark Lemminger. Remember that when he landed that big elbow?
Big elbow. Yeah,
dropped him. and then just beat him up on the ground. Like two guys who are not known for knockouts, just knocking dudes out left and right.
That's
Great.
Again,
vicious knockouts. Yeah.
If 30 soon to be 30-year-old Goiti Yamauchi, if the next phase of his career is just knocking MFers out, he's like, forget jiu-jitsu, like this is how I do it now. I am looking forward to that. And he was he was an exciting submission guy to begin with.
Yeah,
now
Yamauchi's awesome.
Now,
Yeah.
now let's see the knockout. He's gonna show off the knockout power. All right, go for it, buddy. Awesome. It's 29. What?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What are the chances Angela Hill can take out Lacey Godin as? That's gonna be it's gonna be such a good fight.
Yeah. Is that the people's main event?
I hope
It's up
Nate
there.
Landwehr and David Onama is the people. Am I the only one? All I get when I bring up this Onama, except for Mike, because Mike, I am getting such a cold reaction when I bring up this Onama Landwehr matchup. Like this is an awesome matchup.
It's a good fight.
Anyway, but Hill and Loopy, like Hill, I don't know finish, but Angela Hill can definitely beat Lacey Godin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I know the odds are not looking good for her. But experience, man, experience is so big.
Yeah, I'm picking Loopy, but Angela Hill, I kind of Angela Hill needs it more than Loopy. I feel in this point in her career. But I'm just super excited for this fight. It's gonna be a lot of things. I want to see if Angela Hill, kind of can rebound from that hard fought but one-sided loss against Verna. And Loopy just looks awesome. I mean, she just looks like she's just a high level mixed martial artist, And so I'm just excited to see that fight. It just looks like a great matchup.
I feel like it could look. I feel like this fight could look very similar to the Verna fight.
That's why I think the odds
Hill.
are the way they are, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible, but I think the fact that this fight got moved up 2 months so that it could happen on this card will lean itself towards more of a chaotic striking battle. So one thing is for sure, we're taking a trip to Splitty City. Someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose. We're going to Splitty City. It's gonna be a fun fight, and there you
definitely
go.
feels like that fight.
I think unanimous for Loopy. I think it will be unanimous, but I get what you guys are saying.
But 29-28 unanimous or 30-27 unanimous?
It could be like 30-27, but like, the rounds, a couple of the rounds are more competitive than they look. Like they're still clear Loopy rounds, but it's not like Angela Hill just gets like completely dominated. But I don't know. I think this will be a nice statement win actually for Loopy tonight.
Okay. We got a troll, but it seems like a decent question, so we'll throw this up here.
Oh my gosh. That's not a real name. That's not a real name.
Why do any good heavyweights compete in the UFC when instead they could go to the PFL and win $1 million? Well, I mean, listen, what's to guarantee that they'll go to the PFL and win $1 million? Because the guys who are supposed to win $1 million aren't fighting anymore because they decided, it's a great idea. Let's change everything and go international so that the guys who should be winning the $1 million aren't going to be able to because they can't get visas to get outside of the United States. It's insane. PFL drives me crazy. They drive me crazy.
I was gonna say, you can be pretty. I mean, the UFC does make some changes, but you can be pretty sure they're not going to screw you out of like a big money booking by changing the location to a country that you can't go to. I'm not saying that. I'd have to do like probably not. I'm not saying it hasn't happened because they have had to change locations, a bit every now and then, but usually it doesn't happen in the UFC, and they have so many cards. They're probably going to be able to make it right for you within like 3 weeks. Should that happen. PFL, boy, if you missed out on your chance for $1 million this season because of geography, you're going to be stewing for a while. You are going to be stewing for a while. I hope the league can make some of these guys whole.
Yeah, and it won't be Watt Adams will not be the PFL champion because he got knocked out third round KO.
Wait, the PFL? Wait, when did the PFL happen? Is it happening now?
It's going on right now. It's happening right now.
I know. It's in Wales. It's in Wales, another time zone. So.
Bummer.
You mean you didn't know? You didn't? How is that possible?
It is the second biggest promotion. I'm really bad at my job, apparently.
Well, no. when that first question about the UFC's promotion came up earlier, a lot of people were like comparing it to Bellator and PFL, and I'm like, oh, UFC still leagues above that. No, when we criticize UFC, we're often, we have some broad criticisms, and sometimes we're just nitpicking. Obviously, they're leagues above. Bellator just did a rematch of Deanna Bennett and Justine Kish for no reason.
For no reason.
Oh my
for no reason. And thank God Deanna Bennett won again, and now I can see, and now we can set up a trilogy because I need to see it one more time. So,
this is Bellator's what was it, Charles Oliveira and
Nick Lentz.
Nick Lentz, like,
yeah, someone unanswered questions.
Yeah, it's like, what? Why was that? Why was there a trilogy of that fight?
I don't know.
All right,
Deanna Bennett, I hope she gets to move on. My goodness. With respect to Justin Keech, Deanna Bennett, please, new matchup.
No disrespect, but can we please talk about Uruguay versus Lucindo being the third fight on the main card? Who are these ladies? They are fighters, and they'll be in the featured bout. Are we calling this a featured bout, AK?
Yeah, this is the thing is this.
This is a fair question. I think this is actually a fair.
It's a very fair question. Yeah. And I like listen. It would be an unfair question if the UFC had done a better job of like promoting this fight, but. I don't know, other than I guess a few social media, like they've given it the kind of the same level of social media attention they give any main card fight, which would be fine normally, except that we are talking about two women who the majority of your fans have no idea who they are. So maybe I'm sure they'll give them a decent promo, or I hope so, because Yasmin Jauregui is actually a really legitimate like prospect at 115.
She is.
Brandon Moreno's been talking to her big time. She gets finishes. People, sometimes complain, oh, the strawweights, they don't get finishes. This woman puts MFers away. Like she is a very aggressive fight finisher. And 1 second. I should mention that there is a story by our own Guilherme Cruz on her opponent, Yasmin Lucindo. Who's just 20 years old and has her own story for sure. But she is kind of being brought in as the opponent for Jauregui. She is expected. There's a large Hispanic population in San Diego. There's that appeal there. So this may be more against for sort of a live crowd thing. They understand a lot of the people watching on TV might not know who these women are, but Jauregui for sure has a lot of potential to be a contender, a lot of star potential. I do expect her to put on a good performance against Lucinda, who's very tough but very young. So on a card like this, which again overall is really lacking in star power, I think UFC's matchmakers and ESPN, whoever their schedulers, should actually be like applauded for taking a chance and showcasing some lesser known fighters, or again fighters that they plan to invest in the future. This is the card to do that on. It's a low wattage card. So why? Oh, like because like we have to put Gabriel Benitez and Charlie Ontiveros on there because Benitez is a veteran. What's the benefit to that? What is that So take a chance. Hopefully, Jauregui has a big debut, and then suddenly, boom, you're pushing another star. I actually really like that they put it on the main card and third last fight, main card opener. It doesn't particularly matter, I think, in this case, but no, this was a good choice.
I'll be interested how the live crowd reacts to them because I'm not sure how many of the actual fans will know who they are. Right. Just because the UFC fans, not necessarily because they haven't had this platform. So it's gonna be interesting. Two brand new fighters. So I think the UFC is hoping for an exciting fight, and I think we are too. Yeah. Okay, we got to answer this because this guy has to know.
No, I told him to ask again next.
Real quick, it's a one word answer. One word answer.
Charles,
the UFC lightweight champion has a name, and it's Charles Oliveira. There you go.
It's Koichi Yamauchi. I mean, Charles Oliveira.
I'm gonna go on a limb here, and new.
Oh no! You are crazy.
No, he's not crazy. No, he's not going on a limb, Mike. Remember, this is he's being cheeky. He's being cheeky.
And new.
Word.
God, I hate when he tries to be clever. I hate when he tries to be
very.
He already has it. He already has it all, and then he's like, oh, he has to be clever too.
Oh man,
let's talk about some good times here. Look at this.
Good. How excited are you, East Coast boys, for reasonable ending time? This is where every fight night card should be. At this time or earlier, no later. This is where we should be.
Yeah, correct.
So I'm happy.
I don't know. 10 p.m. You could push it back a few hours to start your main card start time.
I like those. I like those like 8 a.m. fights. For me, at least, so it'll be like 11 o'clock for you guys. I kind of like waking up, rolling out, and like face punching.
Oh man, like that card with Oliveira and Makhachev is gonna start at like 11 a.m. Eastern time, which I'm really excited.
Oh, is that gonna be local time? Like
Abu Dhabi.
They're gonna do it
Oh,
like
yeah.
an Abu Dhabi. Oh, no. Yes. I like
They
those.
better.
Fights. Yeah.
Let's see. Cynthia Calvillo made 125 with no problem for a fight with Nina Nunes. Win or lose, does she stay at 125 or go back to 115? My guess is the latter. I think she'll go back to 115. I know she wants to go back to 115. But doing this fight at 125 makes sense because they're both essentially straw weights now, just fighting up a weight class. They don't have to cut that extra 10 pounds. So, yeah, I think Calvillo will probably go to 115 either way.
I think Nina implied that she's staying at strawweight, and then Cynthia
flyweight.
said,
Flyweight.
I'm sorry, flyweight. And Cynthia said the opposite. She actually wants to move back down to strawweight. But the bigger question, I think, if Cynthia does lose tonight, does she get another opportunity to even come back down to strawweight? In the UFC?
Let's see. This will be her 4th straight loss.
Yep.
Should she lose?
Tough competition. But the problem is her last 2 fights against Andrade and Andrea Lee, she got her butt kicked. It wasn't like they weren't really competitive. So I think if she gets her butt kicked tonight by Nina Nunes, I don't know, dude. You know, I mean, I don't want Cynthia Calvillo. I think she's UFC caliber, but you know how things are. Not everyone's Sam Alvey. You know, they can't. They just.
I think both divisions are kind of bare right now, so I feel like Calvillo, as long as this fight is somewhat competitive, I think she'll have a chance to stick around. But yeah, she kind of needs to show out a little bit tonight.
They'll win or lose. They'll give her another chance if she can make 115. If she can make 115. Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. I always think I've always thought she was an exciting fighter. Terrific, exciting grappler, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems. I know the comparison's not the same, but she seems to be a kind of that Aspen lad, where kind of like when she kind of came out, we're like, oh my god, this girl's gonna fight for a title. You know, she's awesome. Yep. And then just something happened. You know, and life happened. I don't know. We just overestimated their oversold them a bit. Maybe, who knows? But Cynthia Calvillo is 35 too. She's not, you know, she's if she's gonna do it, she needs to do it now. You know, as far as a serious title run. So that's a tough fight. I really don't have any idea how the fight's gonna go, to be honest. I just don't know what to expect from either lady. Do you?
Yeah.
Or is it?
No idea.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so interesting. Calvillo's a big favorite. Well, minus 190. Nunes comes back at plus 160. So surprised. I thought Nunes would probably be the favorite, but I get it.
Yeah. Not everyone asking what ifs question. If they lose, if they don't win, or I'm not gonna do those. Right. We'll do those post fight. Right.
Oh yeah. Much easier.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick questions that are about coming into the card, not after the card. Have you seen any good questions, AK?
Oh, some Bellator stuff.
I'm trying to. We can play the bonus game and then do predictions.
Let's do the bonus game.
Bonus game. AK, who's getting bonuses?
Oh gosh, on this card, how do we even know? David Onama, I think he's gonna get a big finish. Nate Landwehr.
You are so hyped on that fight.
I hope I'm telling you, it's either gonna be a highlight reel finish for Onama. I don't know. Again, I don't know why more people aren't talking about this fight. No, actually, I do know why, but I'm a little disappointed. More people, supposedly smart people, aren't talking about this fight. It's a great matchup. What was I gonna say? Oh, sorry, David Onama. I think they'll give Hauragi a bonus if she can get a finish. Again, main card, card bias. Fight of the night. This is so boring because I've just picked the top 3. I think Marlon Vera Dominick Cruz is gonna be really fun to watch. Oh, you know what though? But maybe not fight of the night. Let's say something crazy happens with Mir Sheraton and Bruno Silva. I don't know what, but let's just say some chaos there. Those guys get a bonus. Yeah.
Someone's. Yeah, I can see a big ending on that fight either way.
Yeah, go ahead. You go. I'm still thinking.
I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna go fight of the night. Angela Hill versus Lupi.
Okay.
I think it's just a really fun scrap. Performance tonight, I'm going Yasmin. How do you say her last name?
Howdagi. Howdagi.
Howdagi. That's fun to say. Howdagi. I'm going for her. And the other performance, I am going to O'Day Osborne.
Oh.
I like
Good
him at
pick.
flyweight.
All right, so it's gonna be kind of boring. Like, it's fight of the night's main event. I'm not really going on too much of a limb there. I will go with Azamat Mirzakhanov, just because of where he's at in the card, and the other, Gerald Mearshart.
Yeah. I like that.
You got GM3
First
for
round
the upset?
sub.
Oh my god.
First round sub. I'm going for it. He's just a madman. He's a madman with a million fights.
That's a great main
It's
card
just-
opener. That's such a good main card
that's
opener. Oh,
it's the perfect main card opener. I
So
love that
good.
fight.
So good.
Great fight.
All
right.
Here we go.
Guys, no more UFC San Diego questions? Jeez Louise.
I know.
What do you guys think of Dana's GQ interview where he stated that Silva, Jones, Rousey, McGregor, GSP is his top 5 all-time best? I mean, he's said this a gazillion times by now, pretty much all of those names, so not really surprising. I really wanted to know, I really was hoping he would have a little fun and answer that one question he wouldn't answer.
What was that?
I would have been real interested. He was asked if he had to cut one current champion, who would it be?
That's a cruel question. That's
kind of cruel, but
there's no win.
That's mean. Michael, that is mean.
I was kind of interested.
I am curious.
He starts off the video by saying, "I told GQ that I'm going to answer everything.
Oh,
Nothing's
yeah.
off limits." And then they ask this question. He goes, "Except that, I'm not answering that question." I would.
So what was the question? If he had to cut one, if he had to just strip a belt from one champion, basically, or
it's like if you had no choice, you had to cut one current champion. Who would you cut?
whoever the
Like
least
if you
profitable
had
was.
no choice.
If it was just whoever least, he's a businessman, so whatever champion makes him the least amount of money.
Yeah,
That's
I think
what
his problem was. I think his problem was he couldn't narrow it down to just one. I think that was probably his. Champions just cost him money. Let's be honest. Like those are just people he has to pay more. I mean, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what a champion means to Dana White.
How are we on the broadcast, Mr. Heck?
It's just starting, but there's no date for. I don't see a time. Sorry, so I don't see a timer. But I expect they'll start pretty soon because it's seven fight prelims, so they can't dilly dally too much.
I'm gonna give
So
him.
we could probably we'll go 5 minutes. We could probably make our picks, give people some time to cook some food, get whatever they need.
Yeah, we got 5 more minutes. All right. Hold on.
Oh, did you see that one from Haroon Kid? Casey, I'll read it out. You can. What fighters fight mean like Cheeto? Like when they're in there, they're just mean. Yeah, there's like a stank. There's like a stank to their before. That's a very good question. Who fights mean when they're in there?
Nate Diaz.
Yes,
Nate
for
Diaz
sure.
I think
For
just one of
sure.
those.
The original.
Yeah. Who fights? Who just
Robbie Lawler was like the OG mean fighter.
Yeah,
Remember like old Robbie Lawler fights? Like you'd hit him and his eyes would just get real wide and you could see him get all angry and fired up.
You messed up. You should not have hit me. Yeah.
And the best ones are the guys with the contrast too, right? Where he's Robbie Lawler, the most quiet guy during interviews, and then you're right, but you tag him in a fight, he becomes an absolute psychopath.
You know what? I think a mean face. Jessica Andrade when she fights.
Yeah,
Diego
and she's
Sanchez.
all smiles outside of it.
Yeah, she's
all,
very
all smiles outside. She's the happiest person, and then you put her in there. Yeah, like you said, Diego Sanchez, mean Hakeem Dawoodu. There you go. I mean,
come on.
There you go.
That guy's angry playing. That guy's angry playing Parcheesi. So yeah, he's angry all the time.
Someone said Jake Matthews in his last fight. I'm like, yeah, that was a whole other Jake Matthews.
That was mean.
Before. I had never seen that.
So the point that was so mean, you had to go, is that Jake Matthews? Is that like another Jake Matthews that we weren't aware of? Because it just looked like a completely different human being. Like
That was awesome.
It was odd. Actually, yeah. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Ronda's
Definitely.
kind of a classic mean face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rousey. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I like that question. Mean face. Who's got
Ray
someone?
Cooper.
Who's got one of the nice faces? No matter how the fight goes.
Cruz.
Come on. Sam
Huh?
Alvey, baby.
Dominick Cruz.
Sam Alvey. The
Oh,
smiling
God.
one.
Julian Marquez.
Yeah, I think he's got a few of them. Yeah, it's just. All right.
Yeah, who's always nice in there?
Oh, we haven't talked about. Let's talk about this card. And we haven't talked about this gentleman yet.
Which Devin Clark will show up tonight? Deer in the Deer in the headlights, or the one we saw finish night last time out? Is there an option C where he's gonna try to fight great and he's just gonna be outclassed by a guy who's really good?
What do you know
I'm
about his
kinda gonna
opponent?
go with that
I don't
option.
know too much about his opponent.
He
How's the
finishes
really
fights.
Yeah, he's really skilled. If I would love to see Devin Clark just try and just rush him in the first 90 seconds. I don't know if Devin Clark has ever done that. I know he's probably going to want to stick to his wrestling. This is very much a not entirely, but very much a striker versus grappler matchup. I think Clark's best chance is to make this kind of muck this one up, clinch against the fence, get him to the ground as much as he can. But Mirzakhanov's offense is so nasty. He's one of those guys when he gets his striking gets going, it's you're gonna get your ass cooked. So if there's any sort of feeling, if there's any sort of
get your ass cooked.
you're gonna get your ass cooked. That's a technical term. So if there's any sort of feeling out process, that's not a good idea for Devin Clark. He needs to get in this guy's face. Whatever his UFC experience, which he has plenty of, is worth anything, he has to get in this guy's face early. Again, easier said than done. Very dangerous striker. But yeah, if he just let's kind of feel it out and kind of take my time. It's this guy is very, very, very dangerous.
Okay, I know I want to finish this Q&A.
Yeah, yes, we have fighters coming out soon.
I know.
Yes.
This is a complicated question, but we're gonna go for it.
Is Cruz really the greatest bantamweight ever, and how does he size up to the other divisional goats? GSP, Mighty Mouse, Silva, Stipe, Habib, so forth and so on. I mean, he's...
So I've asked this question a lot on Twitter.
It's a great question.
People kind of reluctantly say Cruz, because I guess if you have to pick a GOAT at 135, I guess it's Cruz. But he doesn't seem to have the same, I don't know, aura of goatness that these other names are. Is he the GOAT? Why does he have that aura? I mean, I don't know. What is it? What do you think? That's why it's kind of complicated. It's layered,
It's the time off. He's probably had the best stranglehold of that title for the longest amount of time, I guess. But no one's really taken the ball and ran with it. You know what I mean? We just haven't gotten there yet. I feel like this division, at least in the UFC, is a little bit newer than a lot of the other ones as well. So, yeah, I would say probably Cruz right now. But, I mean, crap, if Sterling defends the title 3 times in a row, it could be him. No one's had an incredibly long run with the title. No one's had 5, 6, 7, 8 title defenses in a row without long layoffs, or we had to go to an interim title, or you know what I mean? We just haven't had that at 135 just yet. So TBD, but it's probably Cruz right now.
Yeah. He has to be the answer for now based on just his achievements. He has to be the answer for now.
Yeah.
I see people saying TJ. He beat TJ. I mean, I thought TJ beat him, but technically he has a win over TJ. Let me put that. He has an official win over TJ.
Yeah, because that's what makes it complicated. You have TJ, you have Cejudo, but then you have Cejudo's retirement. Then you have TJ's, PD thing.
And Cejudo, how many times he just didn't stick around long. Cejudo easily could have been the answer. Yeah,
that's the problem. Cejudo just wasn't there.
Could have been.
So
he left at the wrong time.
All right.
All right. I think we could hit music. I think we're good.
No, we need to do our predictions.
Good to picks.
Yeah.
All right. Mearshart Silva, AK.
Silva by first round knockout.
Mearshart first round submission.
Oh, baby.
Silva second round knockout.
Okay, all right.
I hate saying that too. I don't even like saying that because I like Mr. Mearshart.
Someone's got to get hurt. I like both guys. Someone's got to get hurt.
Lipski Cachoeira. I got Lipski decision. Casey.
Lipski decision.
AK.
Same prediction as last week. Lipski, second round sub.
All right, Mirzakhanov, Clark, Casey.
I got Clark decision based on experience. I really don't have a real strong opinion on this fight.
AK.
Mirzakhanov, second round knockout.
Same. The Battle of the Yasmins, AK.
Hauragi, second round knockout.
I have Hauragi, third round TKO. Casey.
Hauragi, second round knockout, just like Mr. AK Lee.
I got Onama, submission round 2 in the co-main event. Casey.
Onama in a competitive and very awesome penultimate fight.
Oh, I hope
AK.
it goes 15 minutes. First round knockout, Onama.
Main event, anyone picking Dominick Cruz?
This guy.
Oh, I like it.
He's gonna 3-2. He's gonna win 3-2. He's gonna get beat up. I think it's gonna be like the Munoz fight. He's gonna take some shots, but Cruz using that big old octagon cage, some small apex cage. I think that big old cage is gonna use it to his advantage, and he will squeak by and win a 3 rounds to 2.
And then AK and I both picked Vera decision, if memory serves me correctly.
Yep,
So,
that's right.
all right. Hit the music. Let's get out of here. We're about to kick things off with Yusuf Salal and Damon Blackshear. Should be a fun one. So enjoy. Jose is on site. We'll be back. We'll have the press conference after the event, and then we'll have a post-fight show as well. So until then, everybody, for Casey, for AK, I am Mike Heck. Enjoy the fights, everybody.
Bye.